my staff. He said that Mel Martinez is not the only Hispanic in the Senate, because Bob Menendez is Hispanic. I meant to say Mel Martinez was the only Hispanic Republican in the Senate, because, you know, Bob Menendez is Hispanic too. But you know what they're saying? They're saying, Carlos, that they'd like some fresh, new blood in the Republican Party. What do you think?
Really?
Yeah. You running?
Are you in? I'm in. I'll do it.
You'd be, you know, I'd love to see you on the Senate floor. Hey, they already got a comedian.
The party couldn't get any worse, Rick. You know what I mean? I couldn't do anything worse to the party than what's going on.
Sit there and tell jokes.
I mean, their leader is Rush Limbaugh already. You know, why can't I? I can do this. I can do this.
What do you think of all these protests that have been going on all over? You've been watching this stuff?
You know, I think the protesting, this part, the talking part, is great. That's what America's all about. I mean, you just did a story about the soldiers and them passing away. And that's what they're fighting for. You know, people's rights to, you know, have voices and for those voices to be heard.
Yeah.
I think when it gets violent, it's just like, it's ironic that it's getting violent and people are ending up in the hospital having to go to this system that they're protesting about in the first place. That's hysterical. They're gonna come back. They're gonna come back and say, "Oh my God, it needs fixing. There's something totally wrong with it. I was in the waiting room for hours and hours," and it's like, that's the point. That's why we're all trying to figure this out.
Do you think?
You know, personally.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, personally, I just want everybody to understand where I'm coming from. I have unbelievable health care from SAG, AFTRA, and the WGA. So personally, people like me, we have great health care. The rest of, you know, America are the people that, you know, have to go and wait. And it does need to be fixed. But this violence is crazy. I mean, when I was younger, I remember we used to make fun of these Japanese, you know, game shows where people fell and flipped over.
Right.
And now we have those game shows. We used to make fun when we used to, every once in a while, you guys would put on some story of like, look what happened in Venezuela. And then they would start fighting in the Senate. And we're becoming that country now. We're literally becoming the butt of our own joke. Like we instead of being this great country and saying, listen, don't fight, this is how we're supposed to deal, this is what democracy is all about, we're becoming those countries.
Yeah,
it's
we're
crazy.
suddenly, you look up and you look in the mirror and you see the Taiwanese parliament, you got a problem.
Exactly. All of a sudden, the people in Taiwan are like, look at the American people. They fight. They cannot talk no more. Look at that. And they don't know Kung Fu. It's hysterical.
Hey,
not even good fighters.
Do you think a lot of this still has to do with the resentment of President Obama for reasons that are actually quite simplistic as far as some people see it in this country?
Well, look, the problem is this. Information in the hands of stupid people is bad. And I listen to talk radio, but I understand that that's a very small segment of society. I watch the news understanding that it's the news and, you know, people are reporting what they need to report. The problem is that, you know, somebody listens to a conservative talk show host and they go, oh my God, he said that everything's gonna die and the birds are gonna die and we're gonna die. What do we do? And, you know, they're out there saying, you gotta go. And people that don't get that, they're sensationalizing this.
That conservative talk show host is flying his jet after he's done with his plane and probably can't even remember what he said. Not to mention liberal talk show hosts the same, right? But yeah, we maybe take them a little too seriously. Hey man, hermano, good to see you. We're out of time. We're out of time.
Love you, baby.
See you next time.